that when you talk to investors, the language they're comfortable with, the language of business, the language of finance. And build trust by creating a personal brand like the 4 I's. And why did I play the Cheers tune again, remember? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you want to go where everyone knows your name and they're glad you came. If you can create that brand and that feeling about yourself, then I think you'll get a lot more people interested in investing in you. Do we have any time for questions? Or okay, 3 to 5 minutes. So let's, I put up my Twitter and my ID if you have any other questions, but feel free. Yes. Yes.
Any examples for the B2B market? Who's doing well with freemium?
Well, the freemium model, you're right. So far right now is B2C. I'm not aware of any successful freemium model B2B, but I would say that that is something that may get tested in the next few years as we think about growth opportunities, because businesses are like consumers. They're afraid to really spend a lot of money without engaging. And I think it's a risk because there's a lot of money online when you do B2B, right? The cost of engaging someone on a freemium basis and then saying, hey, pay me later. Companies aren't like people. They don't build this emotional attachment, right? That's the difference. Freemium assumes that people are emotionally attached, right? And once you get them emotionally attached, they can't get off of it. Corporations aren't people, even though someone said that they were. I won't mention who. But corporations really aren't people. And if they're not people, they don't get emotionally attached. And if they don't get emotionally attached, there's a risk of them just walking away and not feeling guilty at all. So I don't know of any, but be curious to see if there would be any. Great, yeah.
Would you invest in a user-generated content business where there was so much supplier dependency?
You know what? I can say that today. I can't say it last week. I just moved on from my NBC News job. So, but I would personally invest in user-generated content business. I think it's exciting. It's kind of where the world is going, where a lot of people get together to create new ideas, like the open source model of. But I would say, if I was part of a big corporation, I would not. And I would not support someone like NBC Universal doing it, because you know what? You're destroying your credibility and integrity, what you build yourself on. NBC News has a great brand of we're trusted, we've sorted through the content, we have the highest standards and integrity, and if you invest in a user-generated content, it dilutes your brand if you're a big corporation like NBC Universal. So if you're a small venture capital firm, yes, I'll be interested if there's a process and an entrepreneur that knows how to make it work. But if you're a big enterprise, you run the risk of, are you hurting your personal brand? Or are you hurting your corporate brand? And everything these days we talk about, your brand means everything. Okay? Yeah, one last question. Yeah, over there.
Yes, thank you. Can you talk about the adoption of textbooks for the ebook industry and some of the challenges with the standards?
Well, it's early days. You know, it's one of the things we did at NBC News, the adoption of textbooks. It's going to be a real challenging field, okay? And there's a lot of bureaucracy. One thing I learned working at a big corporation is, you know, great ideas like being an innovator doesn't get it done. You got to be an entrepreneur. You got to navigate these legal challenges, these standards challenges, and there's bureaucratic challenges. There's also a way of doing things for people who don't want to change. And I would say that it's not going to be easy. The idea of having ebooks is a great innovative idea, right? Because think about it. You know, instead of dragging all these textbooks around, you have it on the 1.5-pound iPad. It simplifies stuff and engages people. But the textbook industry has been around such a long time. And to change that model, it's going to require entrepreneurs that are going to have to work with the textbook industry, to work with the publishing industry, to get these standards approved, to work with, you know, the educators. And the education industry is a real challenging industry as well to drive change into. I'll just close on that question is we had, as part of the education summit we had, which is to try to improve education in America. We brought a lot of the governors together, Warren Buffett, Melinda Gates, ex-President Bill Clinton together. And ex-President Bill Clinton had a great saying about the education space. He goes, there's a lot of challenges here in the education system, but there's no problem, I believe, in the education system today that hasn't been solved somewhere in this world. The challenge is, how do you entrepreneurize that solution and make it across the whole system and make sure everyone buys into that solution? I think that's the same big challenge we have the ebook system. It's a great idea, it's a great innovation, but we're going to need entrepreneurs to help us get us over the hump with all these standards, legal issues, and other challenging issues in that industry. Thank you. Good. Thank you.